going on, guys? Alright, this is Saturday, October 29th, 2016 when I'm recording this. And, this is the more or less comic book haul for the awesome month of October, And, had quite a few things going on, man. Been under the weather for like 2 weeks with this crud that's going around you can't get rid of. Still been working. They've had me out in Northern Virginia and a lot of other places. Took another road trip this month. And was able to pick up quite a few things. Now today, in a town called Dublin, Virginia, which is where New River Valley Community College is, they had a comic book convention there. This is the third year that they've had the New River Comic Book Convention. And this year I ended up being a guest speaker with a panel where I had an hour to talk about Steve Ditko and Doctor Strange. And this is, of course, having a lot to do with the movie coming out in a week or so. It was a fantastic panel. Actually, considering the size of the convention, I had a good crowd there. I was able to talk about Steve Ditko and some history there, and Marvel and Doctor Strange and stuff, much like I do on this channel, for about, I'd say about 40 minutes. And then the last 15 minutes was really cool because apparently a lot of people, from what I could tell, were there because they wanted to know more about Doctor Strange, were the movies coming out. And apparently I was able to keep the attention of a few people, and quite a few people, and they ended up having questions about comics, and I ended up talking about some comic book history, creator rights over the years, some of the behind the scenes things that go on in comics. And then it's like I think I started preaching because I remember taking off my hat when they wanted to know about Jim Steranko smacking Bob Kane and how Bob Kane sort of understood contracts. Thus, he had Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson and some other people kind of under his thumb when it came to the Batman work that he ended up taking a lot of credit for and stuff, and explaining how some of the ins and outs of the industry worked back in the day. So it was kind of a cool panel. Got a few handshakes to give some good compliments and stuff. So yeah, it was fun. And I did pick up some books. Now I want to show you the comics that I got at the New River Comic Book Convention. And I want to move on to the comics I got in Northern Virginia and some odds and ends I picked up around the place. Right. Okay, so with me, I know a lot of people don't make it to the end of these videos. So I'm going to hit you with the big ones right off the bat. Okay, all of these were $1 a piece. One or two of them probably came to about 50 cents. But for a whole $1, I ended up getting Marvel Team Up number 95, a book I kind of kept an eye out for, where I got a little bit of a run. But I got the first appearance of Marvel's version of Black Canary, so they could hook her up with Hawkeye. Mockingbird came out in 1980. Found that for $1, which was really cool. Found this for $1. It seems like I find this book every couple years. This seriously is probably my 5th or 6th copy of this over the years. This is the Avengers Annual number 10, first appearance of Rogue. Okay, written by Chris Claremont, art by Mike Golden. Great stuff there. And then I found this. This is a beat up copy. I got home, found it had a little spine split. But this is the Savage Submariner number 67 from, I think, 1973, written by Steve Gerber. I'm not going to say who I think the artist is because I'm probably wrong. But this was the first appearance, I do believe, of Namor getting some pants. The shark outfit, if you will, is how I think this thing was referred to. Very cool. Big black bolt wings there, if you will. Okay, then I've got this Incredible Hulk 333, early Peter David, early Todd McFarlane art from the 80s. Great stuff. And then this is my 2nd or 3rd copy of this book, but there was this is considered one of the best Spider-Man stories ever. It's when Spider-Man versus the Juggernaut, the unstoppable Juggernaut. So, got 229 and 230, which was fantastic. Ended up getting issue 257. This is around the debut of the black costume that debuted in this book in issue 252, I think, and there was a mystery of there's more to this costume, and we started getting hints of what's going on with the costume, which ends up being a symbiote, which ends up leading to Venom. Okay, now War of the Gods. I'm trying to remember, but I think this will now complete or maybe I might need one issue or something of this War of the Gods. This was originally going to be the 50th anniversary celebration of Wonder Woman that George Perez was trying to craft, and editorial did not get behind it. They were thrown in books that really shouldn't have had anything to do with it, and it was going to be easy to follow because they were supposed to number each issue and banner it with War of the Gods. So, you know, I'm getting to where my collecting is getting a bit more refined. And unless I find some really good stuff, I'm kind of sticking to filling in the War of the Gods, crossover events like Inferno with the X-Men and Fall of the Mutants, which I'll talk about in a minute. Batman 470, and wouldn't you know it, I mean, it was good to find this. What was really odd is after me in the last couple months trying to complete those books, this place actually had a box where they had all the War of the Gods together, and it was followed by all the Invasion and all the Legends, if you guys know your comics and crossover events of the 80s there and stuff. And I was just shaking my head. And this, of course, was like 90 or 91 this came out. You know, Hawk World, War of the Gods. I think that some of these are doubles. This is my second to the Suicide Squad, but I really don't feel like digging in my boxes to find them. And now I think I have all of the Fall of the Mutants. And I got to dig through my boxes because I've had some of these mutant books 2 or 3 times over the years and stuff, man. But I just needed issue 60. I think there's some more than another stack. But issue 60, the Fall of the Mutants, I'll probably do a video on that one day. And then I'm slowly starting to collect all the issues of Rising Stars. I think I'm down to just needing, I don't know, 4 or 5 issues. Rising Stars, for you people who don't remember, was by J. Michael Straczynski. This book does have a bit of a cult following. And this was the book that Wizard Magazine was trying to kind of claim that this was going to dethrone Watchmen. You know, basically the premise of it is a comet or a meteor passed over this town, and all the babies that were in utero ended up gaining powers, and then it turns into a mystery as the government zooms in on this town and raises all these kids, and they start getting powers, and then all of a sudden the kids start getting murdered because as I don't know what the exact number was, but we'll say like there was 100 people who had powers, and as each one dies, their powers distributed amongst everybody that has powers, and they get more and more powerful down to where it gets down to 2 of them, you know. But anyway, here's number 16, and they got Brett Anderson down on this book there towards, I don't know, the last half or something, because when this book started out, the guy they had doing the art, it was just terrible, man. It was very image-like. And then I got these just for shits and giggles because I have my Superpowers books from the 80s right off the rack, and these were kind of upgrades. I kind of grabbed them, you know, so that was kind of cool. Alright, I think that's all from the New River Comic Con. And then these are from Northern Virginia, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, I'm down to needing, I think, 3 issues. I am collecting all of the Marvel 25th anniversary books from 1986 that have the superhero border. And one of the reasons I decided to complete it is because I already had a ton of them anyway. And I'm down to needing the Star Comics. The Star Comics were licensed properties, if you will, for kids. And Heathcliff was actually a book that I think ran the longest out of all this. This is number 12. Now these Star books, I think they range from like $6 to maybe $12, give or take 1 or 2 books. And these go for big bucks on eBay, you know, because people want the borders. I think I need Ewoks, Peter Porker, Spider-Ham, Care Bears, and maybe one more that's escaping me. Peter Porker, Care Bears, Ewoks. That might be it. Okay. They have them all. And then I was really happy to find this. This was a 3-issue miniseries that came out through Comico. This is Jezebel Jade. If you are a fan of Johnny Quest, you'll know that she was sort of Race Bannon's kind of squeeze, but she kicked butt. You know, she only popped in like 1 or 2 of the cartoons. I'm going to say 2. She had a 3-issue miniseries, which I don't think it's worth a lot of money, but it's really hard to find, and it's taken me maybe 2 years to piece all 3 issues together, just because they're scattered out there. And then we got some, yeah, we got them. Well, see if we can get some kind of organization going here before I move on. Alright, found this. I didn't think I could get this. I found the Gumby Winter Special, and I found the Gumby Summer Special for $1. Now, why do I want these? Because these are done by Art Adams. Art Adams used to hide Gumby in his artwork in his X-Men comics and whatnot that he did and stuff. Huge Gumby fan. So it was kind of cool to get this. You know, I was like, wow. These are, I think one of these is a double. Hopefully these are sort of in order here. But continuing with the War of the Gods here, just to get them in the video. Great Brian Boland cover. And this is what I'm saying. This is actually a horrible comic book. And I think they threw Captain Atom in there and like Hawk and Dove and some books there that were getting canceled just to try to get a few more sales in. But supposedly this is a War of the Gods tie-in that was not labeled. So we'll find out. You know. And then we get to the Fall of the Mutants. Now, when these crossovers started up in the 80s with like Morlock Massacre, Fall of the Mutants, Inferno, and things like that, nothing had really been done on that scale back then, so it was just the event itself was really cool. Okay, it wasn't perfect, and they didn't tie in perfectly and stuff. But now that we've come over the years and things, I can look back and I'm starting to collect these and remember things and reread them and stuff. You know, Jim Shooter, when he was running Marvel, apparently really did push. It shows in the work. I don't know what he really did because he made a lot of people mad, and they say he was kind of losing it there at the end and stuff that worked with him. But it's a whole other video. But Tom DeFalco ended up becoming editor-in-chief after Shooter was out. And I got to tell you, man, these books that come out after the Jim Shooter era, late 80s, early 90s and stuff like that from Marvel, there's a difference in them, man. I don't feel like the writers are being pushed. It's kind of haphazard. They got a little bit of a lighter tone. But it's really odd, you know, how leadership can change and it affects all the books and stuff. So I'm going to have to say that I like the books that came out under Shooter in his era, what was it, late 70s, you know, throughout the late 80s there and stuff. But anyway, these are the Fall of the Mutants tie-ins. There weren't a whole lot. But, you know, here's Captain America. And it's in these Fall of the Mutants tie-ins, it seems like they were all fighting one of Apocalypse's 4 horsemen that he had made. Captain America back up and got the New Mutants again, number 61. Number 59, and I just showed you 60 a minute ago. And 60 was really hard to find. But the stories didn't actually tie in really close together. Each book, the characters went through their own thing, if you will. 227. I got 226 somewhere. 225. These are a little beat up. I got these for about 75 cents a piece. And I've had these 2 or 3 times. Power Pack. And Power Pack was an interesting book back in the day because, if I remember right, it started out monthly, then it went bi-monthly, then it went every 6 weeks. So it's like they were trying to save it, and they kept throwing in all the, you know, anything that was mutant related and stuff. It seems like they kept trying to throw that book in there to get it to be a part of it. They even threw Franklin Richards in. Storm and Reed Richards of Fantastic Four son is a member of the group. And they had Walt Simonson, Louise Simonson, basically being their parents. The Powers family there, their parents look like Walt Simonson, Louise Simonson. You know, I had this really weird, strange, bad run of Fantastic Four back in the day after Byrne left and stuff. They tied it in there with Doctor Doom and, you know, had X Factor guest star in there. All right, got some Web of Spider-Man. Web of Spider-Man. Going into the Inferno stuff now. But what's really cool about these Web of Spider-Man is they have the Mark Jeweler stuff in the middle of them. And I remember seeing these books over the years, and there's people that collect these. Sometimes these are worth more money just for having the Mark Jeweler catalog right in the middle of them. Okay, so yeah, we got the Web of Spider-Man going into Inferno. So yeah, I'm trying to get Inferno, and I just went through this. I need all the X-Men issues, 239 to like 243. Spectacular Spider-Man, and I think an odd issue or 2 of like Power Pack with the Boogeyman on the cover and a few other ones. I mean, I'm really close to having them all. I mean, I have a ton over here. More Mark Jeweler. Okay, Damage Control number 4 by Dwayne McDuffie. Dwayne McDuffie is the guy that worked on the Justice League cartoon, and he with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini and all them, and he did Milestone comic line. I've had these issues 2 or 3 times. This is the Walt Simonson issues, 298. And of course, Inferno is where a bunch of demons come out into Earth. Ties into Magic, Elenia from New Mutants, and some other things going on. And everything comes to life. Buildings come to life. Cars come to life. New York, everything, all the inanimate objects come to life, and they're trying to eat people and stuff. And there's things going on with the X-Men and X-Factor and all sorts of things. Fantastic Four. Another Fantastic Four. But yeah, I mean, you know, after all these years with me not buying so many current Marvel comics and stuff like that, this isn't a tie-in, but it finishes out the story arc and it has Mantis in it. Steve Englehart has always kind of worked Mantis in his Avengers work, his Silver Surfer work. He's even done some indie comics or something somewhere, if I remember right, and he had some thinly veiled characters that were really Mantis. Again, some Power Pack. 44, 43, so I need number 42. Yeah. So, yeah, just like I said, I'm getting there. And there you see the parents, where they look like Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson, who worked at Marvel Comics, for you people that don't know. A little cloak and dagger there. Number 4. And then there's a, then there's a place called Ollie's. And Ollie's is sort of a, I always forget what the word is when they get here, but Ollie's sort of gets their books, you know, like, when it comes to their trades and stuff, it's sort of like, okay, Books A Million or Barnes & Noble done with these books, and it's like, and they get rid of them, and they end up coming down to Ollie's. So I got these trades for $2 a piece, if it will do it. Yeah, $1.99. But this is volume 3 of Mark Waid's Irredeemable, and it's a story about Superman, basically, losing his mind and snapping. What would the world be like? And apparently it's got quite a cult following. And I'm hoping this may be a double, but this was the $1.99 also from Boom Studios, Betrayal of the Planet of the Apes. And I love my Planet of the Apes stuff. You gotta love monkeys on horses. It's just awesome. Okay, and I think that's it for this wild month of October. So thanks for hanging in there, guys, and I will catch you guys later. Happy Halloween.